that are just getting through, and now we're getting to totality. This is great. So you're starting to see those pink fingers out there kind of sticking out.
Wow. So again, totality here in Mazatlan, Mexico, the first community in North America to experience the moon completely eclipsing the sun. And if you are in Mazatlan right now, it is now safe to remove your eclipse glasses for the next 4 minutes. And you mentioned some of those pink filaments that we're seeing, right? Can you talk us a little bit through that, Kelly?
Yeah, so those pink filaments, because they're helium-rich, that's why they're appearing pink and they're hanging out there. Those could be the start of space weather. So there are tons of material, billions of tons of material that could possibly be one of those explosions for space weather, the reasons why we really study the sun and try to understand how to live with the sun.
Well, can you explain why space weather is important to us here on Earth?
Definitely. So it's not just satellites that are interested in space weather. It's also our power grids, because of those energetic particles coming from those big explosions that can happen in the sun. That could damage our power grids. It could also do things like interfere with GPS signals. And I know we all use our phones to navigate everywhere. So if we didn't have that, that would be a big problem. So we're looking to understand it better so we can all mitigate all those things.
Some of the movement we're seeing here is just our telescope operator adjusting, because again, they needed to make some changes for before totality. Now they're viewing it a different way, and then after totality we might see some shakes there as well. But I really just cannot believe how crisp it is. As we said, it's not a marble, but I mean just the view of it is so crisp with these little again, those filaments are just amazing that we can see that to such accuracy, you know?
Right, definitely. And also the white fuzz. I mean, you're seeing something that's 1,000,000 degrees just hanging out all around the sun. And 3 billion Earths can fit inside of there. So there's a lot of atmosphere there, all around there, just hanging out, being very warm. And so one of our mysteries is, and one of the B-57s are addressing.
There you go, WB-57, our pilot.
Yeah.
He's flying. So basically, Kelly, he is going to fly and try to chase down the shadow for as long as possible, keep up with it as long as possible.
Exactly. The shadow is much faster than the plane. However, they can chase it for a while and get an extra 2 minutes. So on the ground, we can only get 4.5 minutes, and they're going to get 6.5 for that plane.
I love that they're waving to us. Oh, there you go. And now we're flipped. Now we're seeing the front. So again, they are in night. I mean, it looks very dark with only some light in the horizon, yeah?
Right, yeah, and that's what we'll expect wherever we see totality. Is the night sky is very dark. You might even see some planets or stars, and then you'll see like twilight all around in 360 degrees.
What an amazing vantage point as well. My gosh. I'm very jealous. Kelly, are you jealous? I kind of feel like you're jealous.
I'm kind of a little jealous. Yeah, I kind of want to, see if I can make a faster plane so we can, follow it the whole way.
Plus, they're up above the clouds, so they don't have to worry
about the clouds. Exactly.
Well, I do want to say a big thank you to the WB-57 pilots and the whole team supporting them for that great view. That was awesome. Kelly, you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the sun. And for those watching, if you're interested in learning more with her, check out her and other experts featured in the Sun series of NASA's Curious Universe podcast. And that QR code will pop up on the screen, and that'll take you straight to the episodes. Again, look at that double box we got there. We're showing you amazing views during this broadcast. A big thank you, actually, to the Solar System Exploration Research Virtual Institute, or SERVI, for providing the telescope views from Mazatlan.
Yeah, the SERVI team down there, the SERVI team is based out of Ames, but it is a collection of teams across the country and across the world that are sort of studying the intersection of science and exploration, helping us get ready for our next trip with humans to the moon.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, totality is actually about to end in Mazatlan. Let's keep watching our screen right now for, again, what are we watching for, Kelly?
We're watching for the diamond ring effect. So that's when the first bright light, we're starting to see it on the side there. So you're going to put your glasses on right now to protect those beautiful eyes, because now we're going back to the partial phase.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Wow. Yep.
Kelly, that's a filter, by the way, everyone. That's why we're seeing that. But when you said put on your glasses, I'm so trained now to do it that I almost did it here in Cleveland. No, we're fine in Cleveland. We're still in Mazatlan. Again, what we're seeing is because we needed to adjust the filter now that, again, it's basically like putting on our glasses. The way that you said people on the ground need to put on our glasses, our telescope operators need to protect their own eyes as well as their equipment.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate your time here with us. It was so fun to learn about the science and actually see the first eclipse come for North America here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, as you can see, there's a lot to learn about our sun and eclipses. So to explain it all in a really fun way for kids, NASA developed a clever game called Snap It. We have another QR code coming on your screen right now. Just scan that code, or if you're watching us on your phone, all you have to do is screen grab it, press on it later, and you can check out that game. Also the website, if that's easier for you, go.nasa.gov/snapit. Okay, so NASA can predict the total solar eclipse's path to a high degree of accuracy because of a spacecraft that launched nearly 15 years ago. This same spacecraft is now helping our Artemis II astronauts who'll be orbiting the moon next year. NASA's next step in establishing a long-term presence on the moon is sending 4 astronauts to fly around it with the Artemis II mission. Part of the crew's training has been to study images from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO. The spacecraft launched in 2009 and continues to use 7 instruments, including a high-resolution camera, to help us learn more about the moon's surface. Because of LRO, we now know more about the moon's topography than any other planetary body in the solar system, including Earth. The Artemis II crew used LRO data and photographs to learn how to identify lunar landmarks they'll see from orbit and to seek out sites of scientific interest, like possible landing spots for future explorers. While helpful for planning Artemis missions, people back here on Earth also use LRO to predict the shape of the moon's shadow, or umbra, during total solar eclipses. The moon's shadow will change throughout the eclipse, depending on the lunar terrain and the elevations of observers on Earth. People may even see what looks like an arc of solar diamonds around the moon as sunlight peeks through lunar features like craters. That's a look at your Artemis Moon Minute. All right, joining us on the host desk now is a familiar face here. Oh, actually, we have, sorry, Snoopy. Oh, I just revealed that it's Snoopy. Well, I just want to wave real quick to the crowd here at the Great Lakes Science Center, just outside of our host desk, waving at us, waving at the I'm waving back at them like they can see me. But I did just spoil the surprise. We do have Snoopy here, our Chief Safety Officer here at NASA, and he's here to tell us how to safely watch the eclipse. So, Snoopy, if we were to watch the eclipse today before totality, what should we do? That's right. You should have your glasses on. That's right.
Well, and what about during totality, Snoopy? Can we take them off then? Yeah, let me help you out here.
Oh, Snoopy, there I can see your shining bright eyes. I love Snoopy. He's so funny. Now, Snoopy, I have to ask you a question, okay? So today we've been polling everybody, asking for the total solar eclipse today, who is the big star of the show, right? Is it the Earth? Is it the Earth? Is it the moon? Is it the sun? Okay, but you have to pick one.
You have to pick one.
You have to pick one. You don't want to pick one?
All of them.
All of them are great? That's right. Snoopy, thank you so much. I know you're super excited to see the total solar eclipse today. We're glad to have you here. Bye. All right, now let's head back over to Tahira in Kerrville, Texas.
All right, thanks, Megan. I mean, what an incredible view from Mazatlan, Mexico.
That was amazing.
And folks, as you can see in your screen right now, we are less than 1 minute away from the eclipse crossing over Torreon, Mexico. Gina, how fast is this moon shadow moving right now?
I mean, it's flying. It's going about 1,900 miles per hour as we're chasing it across the U.S.
That is incredible. And so, you know, in Mazatlan, we were able to see the diamond ring effect.
That's right. It was beautiful.
Beads. So hopefully we'll be able to see that in Torreon right now.
Yeah, we're watching that live feed.
Yes, just to see this sliver crossing over the moon.
That's right. We're getting so close there.
We are
Hopefully
getting
we'll see
so
that diamond
close.
ring too.
Wow. Look at this. And so we're about 10 seconds away.
Here we go.
Let's take it in. Wow. What a spectacular.
It's going into totality.
Wow. There you have it. We are in.
Yep, that diamond ring came through, and we see a little bit of those Bailey beads too as we're looking at it, those kind of the lights trickling through around the surface of the moon, coming through the peaks and valleys.
So what are we viewing on the left-hand side? This this almost pink color effect.
Right, and so as we just heard from the last totality, you know, these pink fingers are popping out a little bit, and those are those solar prominences. They're appearing pink because of the helium rich, but we can see, let's focus on the corona here, that glow that we're getting, and we can see basically these streams that are coming out, a lot of that energy and brightness that we do not have the ability to see on a day-to-day basis. So with this total eclipse, we're able to see that corona nice and bright coming through in Torion.
That is just a magical view. Oh my goodness,
It
Gina.
is.
Gina, okay, and so we've got so many questions coming in online right now from viewers watching this. Our first one is going to be from Justin, who wants to know, right now we are seeing a pretty clear and spectacular view of a total solar eclipse.
Yes.
But Justin wants to know, what will it look like if it's clouded over?
Right, so the view that we're getting right now, you won't be able to see that if it's clouded over, but you will have effects going on, right? You'll get a change in the temperature, so the temperature will drop. It'll still get darker as well.
It's already getting dark here in Kerrville.
I mean, we have some cloud coverage, right? And we're feeling a little extra wind. It's noticeably darker despite the clouds that we have, so you'll get some of those environmental effects, even if it's cloudy where you are.
And so a great follow-up, we've got Halloween Ghoul on YouTube who wants to know, again, will the temperature change during totality, which I know you mentioned that it will get a little bit cooler.
Yes.
But do you know about how many degrees we can expect?
Yeah, it depends on the location, the humidity, multiple factors, but it can change by about 10 degrees or so, depending where you are, maybe even a little bit more than that. And, we're feeling a little chilly kind of where we're sitting compared to what it was earlier. And, I mean, I'm just staring at this view of totality that we have in Torion.
So we're about halfway through totality right now in Torion, Mexico. And again, I know folks said that this is almost double totality than 2017, right?
That's right. And so in 2017, we had a little more than 2 minutes. So we're lucky enough this time that we have over 4 minutes in some places too.
This is so beautiful. And so our next question from Sibel on Instagram wants to know, why is the sun more active right now?
So the sun is more active because we have an 11-year solar cycle. The sun goes from solar maximum to solar minimum, where it's changing its level of activity. Oh, and as you're seeing the screen, so I see in that the bottom right there, we can see that prominence extending out. And as we heard earlier in Mazatlan, that is potentially the beginning of space weather activity. So we're talking about solar maximum. If there's a time to see any of that space weather activity during the total solar eclipse, this is the time to do it. So let's watch that as we go through totality in our other locations too, and maybe we'll be lucky to see some of these features change for us.
That is so beautiful.
It is.
And so Gina, too, how we're in a higher cycle. Solar cycle right now. How many years, is that fluctuation?
Right. The solar cycle goes on for 11 years when it peaks in activity, and that's where we are, where the latest predictions are that we will reach that maximum sometime this year, and then it'll decrease in activity going back down to solar minimum.
And so, Gina, I've got time for one more quick question from Christopher on X, who wants to know which other planets have the best eclipses.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. So eclipses don't only happen on Earth. Let's talk about Mars, for the fact that Mars does have eclipses when the moon crosses in front of Mars. Mars has 2 moons, and the rovers on the surface have captured images of those.
But no other planet has a view quite like this, right?
Nope, that is special for us. Just the distance and the size of the moon makes it such that it will completely block the sun as it's doing today.
Wow.
And you can see there's that diamond ring effect as we are coming out of totality in Torion.
What an incredible
Wow, it's a bright one too. Look at that.
That is a bright one. So is this what, a Bailey's bead, or?
So that's going to be that diamond ring, just how bright it is. Bailey beads are a little bit smaller as they kind of bubble over the surface, but folks who are in that location should have those safety viewing glasses back on so that they can now view the partial eclipse that they are experiencing.
Well, that is fantastic. And the next time we see this eclipse, it's going to be right here in Kerrville, Texas. So folks, the countdown is on. We've got about 10 minutes until we see this with our own eyes.
You can hear people too.
Yes, big moment right here in Kerrville. For now, let's check back in with Lauren at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Thanks to Hira. We are getting close to Eclipse ourselves, but for now, we have a very special guest, NASA's very own Pam Melroy, Deputy Administrator and former astronaut. Pam, it's good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm so excited.
It's very exciting. So what's it like being in Indianapolis for an exciting event like this?
Well, it's a beautiful day here. And I love the fact that we're here with thousands of people in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But we're joining with millions of people around America looking up together to the sky.
Absolutely. And tell me, is this your first eclipse?
It's not my first eclipse, but it will be my first totality.
Oh.
I've seen several partial eclipses, but there's something mystical and mysterious and in some ways unifying about a total eclipse. And we're all going to feel it together.
Absolutely. We could not have lucked out more on this weather today. So as a former astronaut, we know that sun science and space weather are very important to keeping our astronauts safe. What is space weather and why do we care about it? What is NASA doing to study it?
Yeah, that's right. It's actually very important. It is of concern for astronauts who are in space because they experience the radiation of the sun that comes from solar flares and solar weather. But the reality is it's also affecting life here on Earth. It impacts the upper reaches of our atmosphere called the ionosphere, which is an electrified part of our atmosphere that is a conduit for communications. It's critically important. It can even affect power grids. And of course, if you ever have seen the Northern Lights, you've seen the effect of solar weather. But really the focus for today is where that solar weather starts, and that's in the corona, the sun's atmosphere. It's very unusual, and we don't exactly know what's happening because the sun's atmosphere is millions of degrees hotter than the surface of the sun. So we are hoping to learn today more about how that happens and why that happens so that we can better predict those solar flares and those things that impact us here on Earth.
Yeah, that's all extremely important and something that we're learning a lot today too. Pam, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
As we've learned, solar eclipses are very important to learn for many, many reasons. We have radio telescope operators who are studying the eclipse today for this very reason. Let's take a look at that work.
When the moon blocks the sun during a solar eclipse, there is a noticeable impact on Earth's upper atmosphere, known as the ionosphere. These changes can affect radio communications, including amateur radio, also known as ham radio.
Ham radio is a way you can talk to people all around the world. You set up a radio and antenna. You talk into the radio sends a signal up to the antenna sends the signal up to the sky. It bounces off of the electrified layer of the sky back down to Earth, where you can talk to the person on the other side.
During the 2024 total solar eclipse, the Ham-Sci Citizen Science Project is inviting ham radio operators to transmit radio signals. The goal is to have people make as many radio contacts as they can with operators in different locations during the celestial event. By recording how strong their radio signals are and how far they go, ham radio operators and scientists can learn about how the ionosphere changes during solar eclipses.
Sometimes you can talk around the world, and sometimes you can't. And that's all based on what the ionosphere is doing, what the sun is doing. When it works and you are able to talk to these faraway places, I find that really magical.
To learn how you can participate, follow Do NASA Science on X and Facebook.
And we are minutes away from the total solar eclipse over Kerrville, Texas. The temperature is dropping. As you can see, I had to throw on a jacket. The sky is dimming. We're on the edge of our seats, and we are joined now with astronaut and commander of the Artemis II mission to the moon, Reed Wiseman. Reed, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you. The crowd noise, the fact that the sun is behind the clouds most of the time and peeking out, it's so wonderful.
I know.
Thanks for being here.
As you can hear, we are ready.
We are right there.
So exciting. So tell us, Reed, obviously everybody is excited, but have you seen a total solar eclipse before?
Never a total, so I will share this darkness with you and this whole crowd the first time.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
This is incredible.
That's
so,
great.
too, what considerations do you and your fellow Artemis astronauts need to think about when related to the sun when traveling back to the moon?
Well, it's great to see Pam Melroy on your last clip, a dear friend of mine, so it was nice to see Pam's face over there. But when we're heading out to the sun, it's really radiation is our big thing that as we're heading out to the moon.
Yeah.
It's really the
Not the
solar
sun.
radiation that we're most thinking about there as the danger from the sun, and the Apollo astronauts dealt with it, and we've dealt with it for a long time on the International Space Station, and we have a lot of data from the moon, from our NASA probes that have gone out there and collected, so we think we know what we'll encounter.
Great. Okay. And tell me, Reed, how does it feel to be the commander of NASA's first crewed mission going back to the moon since Apollo?
I am flying with Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen. The
Dream team, yes.
I know. So every day that I go into work, I won't say every day is easy, but every day is fun. And I'm flying with people that have principles, they have integrity, and they have just so much knowledge and professionalism. It's a dream come true. And getting to work with the whole team, the international team, it's the best.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Reed. Really quickly, do you have any advice for anybody that might want to follow in your footsteps one day?
We always say that you have to find that job that you love, go all in on it, live your best life, be as good of a professional as you can, and someday apply for the program. And we look forward to seeing your application come across our desk.
Thank you, Reed, and good luck on your upcoming mission.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Now, if anybody feels like reaching for the stars, NASA is actually currently accepting applications to be an astronaut. You could one day travel to the moon and eventually to Mars. From teachers to scientists to even those in our armed forces, we are looking for a diverse group to take humanity farther into the cosmos. You can apply now through April 16th by visiting go.nasa.gov/astro2024. Now, timing is everything when it comes to pulling off successful science during an event like today. Let's hear from a very special guest who also knows a thing or two about perfect alignments.
Hi, I'm Paul DeYoung, shortstop for the Chicago White Sox. What does it take to do my job? You gotta know your physics. I specialize in predicting the path of fast-moving objects at a split-second pace. At my position, it's key to know exactly where and when two paths will cross. Just like NASA needs to know when the Earth, Moon, and Sun will align to predict the solar eclipse. Working it all out on the whiteboard is one thing.
They're ready for solar eclipse delay at Volcano Stadium.
But seeing it in action is a whole other ballgame. And on April 8th, you can see just what I mean as a total solar eclipse crosses the United States. NASA has mapped the detailed shape of the moon's surface, so we know exactly where the moon's shadow will fall. And you know where to be to see the eclipse in person, even if it's from the stands. Don't miss your chance to experience the beauty of science in action, and maybe catch a ball game.
You actually can't see it. We are 2 minutes, under 2 minutes actually, away from totality here in Kerrville, Texas, which will mark the start of our eclipse coverage across America. Now, folks, we have a little bit of cloud coverage right now in Kerrville, so we are showing the Dallas feed. But again, we're holding out hope.
We are.
Gina and I are thrilled to be here with Dr. Nicola Fox, who is the Associate Administrator of NASA's Science Mission Directorate. Nikki, thank you for being here.
Oh, I wouldn't be anywhere else. Thanks for being here, Nikki. So tell us how the science conducted today will really impact the future of exploration at NASA Science.
Oh, wow, there's so much that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be studying the sun. We're going to be studying the Earth's atmosphere and how that changes. You can see it getting dark here. And, we've got these little magnetometers. They're going to be all across. We have 30 of them all the way across. I'm going to hold it up.
Very nice. Love
Magnetometers, and we're gonna be having these all the way across the path of totality. And it sounds like we should go.
We should get up.
Oh my goodness! Let's go!
Oh my goodness!
Less than a minute. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Okay.
All right, glasses on, Nikki? Yes?
Yeah,
or
glasses
no?
on, but we're about to get. Yeah.
There's some cloud
there's
coverage.
some cloud coverage.
It's trying to peek out.
It is trying. It is trying.
Windy,
it is getting
for
dark
sure.
here. The wind's picked up. You could actually see the birds started flying in a very weird pattern a minute ago.
Good point.
Come on, clouds.
Everyone's
Wow.
screaming.
Yes.
You know, I might have to switch to Team Sun.
Come on. Oh my goodness. We're there. We're nearly there. Okay.
Here we go.
Wow, the crowd is counting down.
Wow. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That is amazing. I told you. No, go away, clouds. Go away, clouds.
They're
Look
gonna
at
move.
that. Oh my goodness. I've been saying all day. Look how dark. Look how dark it is around here. Yeah.
It is just this white ring.
White ring.
Yeah, it's so dark.
It is so dark. It is
You
so
can see
dark
the planes
here.
in the sky
You
much
can.
better.
Wow.
You can. We
Everybody's
have
just
planes and helicopters and drones.
The whole
all over the
crowd
place
is
today.
just
Oh, look
Here we
at
go.
the clouds are going to clear
Look
for
at
us.
that. Yes. Yes. Woo! Woo!
Oh my
Look at that. Just
It's
look
amazing.
at that. That is
And we have
incredible.
about, what, 4 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
to
4
just
minutes
bask
and 25 seconds.
To be
Yes.
I mean, this really,
Yes.
again, reminds you that we are on this one planet, you know,
Yes.
in this larger system.
And you have to be on this planet to see what we're seeing.
You do.
right now.
That's why we are Team Sun, Earth, and
Sun.
Moon. Because you need the moon for an eclipse. You need the sun for an eclipse. And we're
Right.
standing on the Earth to see it.
Oh man.
So, all of NASA
Amazing.
science represented by a total solar eclipse.
And something that, what, over 30 million of us today, at least in
at
the
least,
path of totality.
At least, yes.
Able
I mean,
to witness
Yeah,
this.
I don't know
31
about
people
you,
living in the path of totality. So
Doesn't
imagine
count
how
who
many people
travels.
actually traveled here. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This
Wow.
is getting me extra excited about all the science that
All the science that we're doing.
right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, those clouds are playing tricks
Those
on us
clouds
now.
are being pretty mean. Yes.
It was nice to get a taste, though.
It's
Wow.
true.
It is
Yes.
so dark.
It is.
We've got everybody
is
looking
so
up.
dark.
I'm so happy that, you know,
Yes.
for
So
folks that
good.
travel,
Yes.
able to see this take place.
That's right.
And it's
so-
been such a great atmosphere here all day. Every
Yes.
time the sun comes out, everybody
Everyone's
cheers.
cheering,
Yeah.
counting down. It has been incredible. And so, wow.
That's true.
Oh, Nikki, what's your favorite part about these? About an eclipse? Is this your first?
No, this is my second one, 2017. I was in Nebraska and I saw it there. But I think there's just, you can study the sun, you can study the corona, but suddenly you see it with your own eyes. And it's that feeling of just, wow, that is our star. Like it isn't just the sun anymore. That's a star, and you see it looking like a star. And, you know, as we study, as we look for exoplanets in other galaxies that might be able to support life, you know, we need to understand our relationship here on this planet with that star. And
That's right.
so it's so important. And I think when you see it, you're just like, wow, it actually is a star. Yeah. You know, it's not just a bright point of light in the sky. You can see the structure. You can see just how exciting the sun is and actually how dynamic it is.
Yeah. And you know, it's not often in heliophysics that we can actually see